My wife had a warm smile on her face as she zipped up her suitcase. She looked up at me and said, "It is just a 14-day work trip with my partner from the office." She gave me a gentle kiss goodbye, acting like everything was normal. Exactly 14 days later, she walked back through our front door. I looked at her, smiled, and asked just one simple question. "Before we go into story, let me tell you about us. My name is Andrew. I am 39 and work as a senior accountant. I am a calm, patient person who believes trust and honesty are foundation of every marriage. My wife is Melissa, 36, a manager selling medicine to doctors. She is hardworking, and lately she has been traveling more for her meetings. Her work partner is Kevin Ross Ferrenta, a sales manager assigned to travel with her. Melissa and I have been married for 11 years. Work travel had always been a regular part of her job. Usually, it lasted a few days or maybe a week. So, when she told me she would be gone for 14 days on a work tour with Kevin, I did not argue. I simply asked, "Will you have time to check in?" She smiled at me. "Every evening. I promise." I kissed her goodbye and wished her a safe trip. First few days went exactly as we expected. She called every night. She told me about her meetings, presentations, and the long drives between cities. Then, around the middle of the trip, the calls became shorter. Her messages became less frequent. Whenever I asked how her day had been, she would simply reply that she was busy. I missed her much, but I did not want to create a fight. Instead, I focused on my own daily routine. I went to work, visited the gym, and had dinner with my parents. I reminded myself that trust means giving the person you love space to do their job without constant suspicion. Finally, the 14 days ended. Melissa walked through the front door, looking exhausted. I gave her a big hug. "Welcome home." She smiled. "I missed you." We unpacked our bags together, made some coffee, and talked about the trip. Everything seemed normal. Then, I looked at her and asked one simple question. "How are we doing?" She blinked. "What do you mean?" I said, "I don't mean your work trip. I mean us." She stayed silent. I continued. "Over past few months, we have both been busy. We have stopped making time for each other. While you were away, I realized I missed talking to you more than I missed knowing where you were." Her eyes filled with tears. "I noticed it too," she said. "I kept telling myself I was working hard for our future. But somewhere along the way, I stopped being present in our marriage." I nodded. I wasn't perfect either. I got comfortable with routines. We stopped asking each other how we were really feeling. She quietly reached for my hand. "I thought you would question every detail of trip." I smiled. If I have concerns, I would rather ask honest questions and make assumptions. The question that mattered most was not where you went. It was whether we are still choosing each other. She squeezed my hand. "We are, but we need to do better." Over the following months, we made changes. No work phones during dinner. One date night every week. One weekend away together every few months. These habits reminded us our marriage deserves the same attention as our careers. Looking back, people ask what that one question was. It wasn't "who were you with?" It was "how are we doing?" Because relationships rarely fall apart because of one event. They drift apart when people stop having the conversations that matter most. Sometimes the strongest response isn't suspicion. It is creating space for honesty before silence becomes distance.